Melissa chose to serve our country as a very proud member of the U.S. Army in Iraq, where she very nearly made the ultimate sacrifice for us. She's the first woman to lose a limb in active combat, and for her services to our country, she has been awarded both the Bronze Star and the Purple Heart. She is a three-time world champion triathlete and proudly represented Team USA at both the 2008 and 2016 Paralympic Games. She's the co-founder of the nonprofit sport group Dare to Try, through which she has helped countless other people living with disabilities to not only return to sport, but to find a renewed passion for life. If you follow her on social media, you know that she is the very, very proud mother of two insanely cute kids. She and her husband recently opened a prosthetics company of their own. She's about to release her memoir, her book, The Power of Choice, which comes out in July. And although her dream has been postponed for the time being, she is looking forward to once again representing Team USA at the Paralympics next summer in Tokyo. She is unquestionably one of the most positive people you will ever meet, and she is a great friend of Chicago sports and entertainment, so it gives me great pleasure to introduce her and to turn things over to Melissa Stockwell. So Melissa, take it away.
Thank you, Patrick. Hello, everybody. I am signing in from Colorado Springs. As Patrick mentioned, this is part of the series when things don't always go as planned. And I think we can all agree that right now, things are not going as planned. I'm sure a lot of us never expected for our children's schools to be canceled through the end of the year, to have to work from home, to wear a mask when you go to a grocery store. And it's pretty safe to say that my own life has not really gone as planned either. And I'm going to share with you a little bit about that and how we can take it on ourselves to perceive these obstacles that come our way that we never really expect. So I like to say that I was born a patriot. So loved our country from a very young age. I was a big gymnast. I would see that flag in the gymnastics gym. And as I grew older, I would see military personnel, whether it was around the community or on TV, and they had a military uniform with a flag patch on their shoulder. And as soon as I saw that, I thought, I want to do that. I want to wear that uniform. I want to have that flag patch. I wanted to give back to a country I felt so passionate about at a young age. So my story led me out to the University of Colorado in Boulder, and freshman year I saw cadets marching around campus, and I just knew that I wanted to be part of that. I could just see how much of a team that they were. So sophomore year, I was probably a recruiter's dream. I marched my way into the recruiter's office. I said, I want to join the Army. What do I do? And he said, well, sign on the dotted line, and which I happily did. And in turn, he handed me my very first uniform. I went back to my dorm room, put that military uniform on, flag patch on my shoulder, and I just knew that that's what I was supposed to do with my life. So senior year of college, it was early fall and a day that changed a world that none of us will ever forget, September 11th of 2001. And that particular day was a Tuesday, if you recall, and it was ROTC day. So I sat in a room with my fellow cadets watching the news unfold on TV. And it was that day that our instructor looked at us and he said, today, your lives are going to change. It's not a matter of if you'll deploy to a foreign country. It's more a matter of when. So the uniform I was so proud to wear on American soil, I knew I'd probably be wearing it on foreign soil as well. And of all days that my race could have taken place on, the day was September 11th. So you can imagine the meaning there. Waking up in Rio on September 11th, 2016, putting on that USA uniform, knowing that my race was about so much more than me. Every swim stroke, every bike pedal, every run step were for those who had given that ultimate sacrifice. Swimming, biking, and running up and down the streets of Copacabana Beach. Coming across the finish line in third place, getting this bronze medal that felt like a personal gold. On a historic day, because my teammates got gold and silver, and it was a USA sweep on September 11th at the Paralympic Games. Standing on that podium, seeing not one, not two, but 3 American flags go up as we heard our national anthem. Thinking about myself, how so many years ago, someone tried to take my life in Iraq. They didn't. They took my leg, but they did not take my spirit. My friend next to me who lost her leg to cancer years prior, she did not let that stop her. And just truly showing the world how much ability is in a disability. I want to share with you some things that I have learned along my journey. Maybe you'll think about them as you close your computer today, as you lay your head down tonight. But hopefully they will inspire you to think about your own life and your own story and how you can choose to make it what you want. The first thing is the power of teamwork. And honestly, teamwork it's not more relevant than it is right now. We all have teams in our life, your family, your friends, your coworkers. And I've been fortunate enough to have teamwork throughout my entire life. In the military, teamwork resonates in everything that we do. And nothing says that truer than my soldier, my teammate, who literally saved my life on April 13th. I've also been fortunate to experience teamwork on the Paralympic stage. On that podium, it wasn't just me up there. It was my team. It was my family, my friends, my sponsors that got me there. So I want all of you to think about who your team is. Find people that you trust in. Find people that you rely on. Today, as we get through this together, because this will pass, find people that you can connect with on FaceTime or Zoom, whatever it is, to make your days happier. I've also learned that we all don't give ourselves enough credit on the things that we're capable of doing. So I've been fortunate enough to meet the best of the best in Paralympic and Olympic sports. They are gold medalists, and you meet them and you walk away and you think, holy cow, they are superheroes. But I'm here to tell you that they're not. There's simply too many of them. What I've learned is that these Olympians and these Paralympians have found something to dig deeper into their potential. For me, it took losing my leg to make it happen, to dig deeper and to find that potential. So the real question is, how do all of you skip the traumatic part, skip the roadside bomb part, and find your own potential? Well, you start by believing that you can. And when you come up to something or to a day or a moment and you think to yourself, there's no way I can do this. Instead, you tell yourself, I can do blank, and you fill it in with whatever it is you can't do. You think you can't do it, because I know that you can. Lastly, this picture is a picture that was taken hours after I lost my leg. It was at my lowest point where I had nearly died. The T on my forehead stands for tourniquet. It's a crude yet effective way for someone on the battlefield to know that I had been severely injured if they found me. But this many years later, I look at this picture and I don't see T standing for tourniquet. Instead, I look at this picture and I see T standing for turning point, because this day was a turning point in my own life. It was the start of a new book, if you will, or a new chapter. And the realization that in life, we all have these obstacles that come our way. We all have these metaphorical roadside bombs that happen in all of our lives. And we can't change the circumstances that happen to us, but what we can change is how we perceive them and how we move forward. After losing my leg, I don't think anybody would have doubted me if I would have said, oh, woe is me, I lost my leg. But instead I chose to say, I only lost one leg. Now let's get back to living. So I'm going to close with this. The next time things don't go your way, the next time you wake up, tomorrow morning you wake up and you are just overwhelmed with everything that is going on in the world right now, how are you going to handle it? How are you going to think about your own lives and think about the decisions that you can make to make your life what you want it to be, to make each day right now the best that it can be? How are you going to rise up? Thank you. All right, so that was a little bit about my story. We do have questions. There is, as Patrick mentioned, there is a Q&A section that I will get to ask some questions. All right, we got some questions. So I'm just gonna start with those and then we can kind of go ahead and type them in and I'll answer them as they come. So one good question is who are my mentors and why? So honestly, I feel like I have a lot of mentors. I wouldn't be here if it weren't for companies and organizations that got me here today. So anyone who has gone through a big obstacle like I have and persevered through on the other side and come out even better, that's who I look to for inspiration. Right after I lost my leg, I looked towards anyone else who had lost a limb and who had taken that on and gotten even better in spite of it. So my mentors are just anyone who has that positivity and who has gotten through all those obstacles. What inspired me to write my book, Power of Choice? So as Patrick mentioned, there is this book, Power of Choice. It is currently for sale on Amazon, Barnes & Noble. And the power of choice, I think, is so important for all of us. You know, like I said a few minutes ago, we have these obstacles that come our way. We can choose how we perceive them, how to come out even better on the other side. So really wanting to share my story in hopes that others can be inspired by it and realize how important the choices they make in their own lives can impact them.
Thank you again so much. I've heard your story many times, and every time it's just better than the next time. So thanks for sharing that with us. And just want to give you a minute to wrap things up, and then we'll sign off.
Yeah. So thank you, everybody, for coming on. I know time is, well, who knows? These days, some of us have more of it than we're used to. But thanks for taking the time to come on. I hope that you've enjoyed my story. Hopefully it's inspired you. And maybe you want to, I would love to share it with your employees. So thank you, and hopefully we'll be in touch soon.